Hello, hello. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. We are putting on the nuts and washers and lock washers to anchor down the building. The other day you probably saw me drilling holes, and there were lots of holes. I'm only halfway through. Or catch even the eaves and that. You get a lot of area in there. You can lift a building. And I'm also a little bit worried about shear. If you do push on the building hard enough, you can move it off its foundation by pushing it over. Not much about that, but we do get some very tremendous winds out here, so I did a little bit of homework on it. I've got enough bolts and they're strong enough, but I had to drill each one, and they had to go down the correct depth, and then you've got to mechanically clean the holes. After you blow them out, clean them, mechanically put them back in. It's the only way to do it right. And last night I went nuts because we had rain coming in. I didn't want to fill up all the holes with water. And this stuff is approved to use in damp holes, and it'll even, I believe, working at a saturated hole in that. But why push it? The holes were dry. They were in good shape. So I think I started around 8 o'clock, and I think I finished up after midnight. But anyhow, the other thing I had to do, if you notice, there's green tape. You want it to go the whole depth. You don't want it to stop along the way going down into the hole. So I went along every one and put a piece of tape on, so I knew I was at full depth when I pushed it in, and that hit the sill. Also, as a bonus, it kept the threads clean, because when you push them down in, obviously some of the epoxy comes up through the hole. It should be better, at least, because you want to make sure the hole's filled. And you want to make sure that you don't get on threads, because if it gets on threads, the bolts will never start. So anyways, tonight's job is to pull the tape off. And you can see a couple I've already done. I put a washer and a lock washer and a nut on there. Another one. And another. I could put extra ones by the door. There's 3 in a row. Even though I didn't need that many, I put them in. We're going to hold this baby tight. The biggest thing I had to spend time on today, of all things, was making a special wrench, because as you can see, it's a pretty long bolt sticking up. I probably could have come shorter, but I left them long. No reason why you shouldn't have been buried in a wall. And it was just easy cutting the bar in half, because I cut 2-foot bar in half. Worked out great. But that meant I needed a special wrench to be able to get down over that, and they don't make super deep sockets. So that I did, I went out, picked up, I think you can see that, 2 sockets, 1, 2. I cut this one in half because I only needed the the hexagon part. And then I put a steel bar in the middle, hollow one. You can actually see all the way through it. So it'll go down over top of the long bolts, because a deep socket, you can see, if that was just a socket, would be not deep enough. Whoops, camera flip. Then I've got a torque wrench, because you don't want to just tighten these. You don't know how tight is. So if you just start tightening them willy wonky, you'll either leave them too loose, it won't hold its clamping strength, because it develops its clamping strength by the amount of torque you put on, or it'll be so tight you'll strip out the hole and pull the rod out, or possibly break the rod. So there's a torque spec on the bolts, and thus a torque wrench. You set the numbers on here, and when you get to the correct tightness, it clicks, and you've hit. That's where you stop. So anyway, just thought I'd show everybody what I'm up to tonight. As I let you know last time, hopefully not going to spend too long out here, but even if it took you just 1 minute per hole or per threaded rod, that's 50 minutes an hour. And bang's going to take more than a minute. It'll probably take 2 or 3, so I probably got 2 or 3 hours out here. So gonna keep me out of trouble. All right, guys, I hope everybody's doing well. You guys take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.